Hi, I'm Ro, and today I'm going to be talking about homeschooling, and also I'm going to be answering a few questions that I often get about homeschooling. First off, I myself am a homeschool mom. I have a 3-year-old son and I have a 9-month-old daughter. And in Michigan, there are no regulations when it comes to homeschool. You can homeschool as you please, you can homeschool how you want. So, the first question that I got is, why do I homeschool? I homeschool because I feel like that's the best option for my child. Because for me, being from Detroit, Michigan, born and raised, I went to school here, and I feel like the school systems here, I don't feel like they really care for our education here based off of my experience. Like, I really feel like I didn't learn nothing going to school in Detroit, to be honest. I don't feel like I learned anything, honestly, until high school. And even then, I feel like they could have did better, but then again, it is what it is. That's what I was given. I don't want to give that to my child. So I chose to homeschool so my child could have a better education, more opportunities, and access to more things. Because when you homeschool yourself, you could do whatever you want with your child. I don't know about everywhere, but I know here in Michigan, you could do whatever you want when it comes to homeschool. If you want to teach your child 4 or 5 languages, you can. If you want to teach your child sign language, gardening, anything to that nature, you could do whatever you want, how you want, on your time, which is why I prefer to homeschool over sending my child to public school, especially here in Detroit. My second question is, how often do I homeschool? Since my son is only 3 years old, currently we homeschool Monday through Friday. Sometimes we'll homeschool Monday through Thursday, or however we could do it that week. But he only homeschool about 30 minutes to an hour a day. And or we probably do a little bit more depending on how he feeling, because some days we probably do 30 minutes if he don't feel like doing nothing. Then some days he feel like doing more work if he having a lot of fun, like he just want to keep going and going. So sometimes it'll be more than an hour. So it really depends on my child and how he feeling that day. Is it difficult to homeschool? It can be difficult depending on the person. I'm gonna say it's difficult if you don't really know your child. Like, if you sent your child to public school and like you're new to homeschooling, you just pulled them out and you decide to homeschool, it may be a little difficult for you because you got to figure out your child's learning style, and you just got to really like get to know your child in the educational learning area, really, because not many people know their children in that area, surprisingly. So it could be difficult at times, but it's doable, if you really want to do it. My next question is it important to have a support system? Yes, it's very important to have a support system. I say that because, everybody needs some type of support. Everybody needs some help. Nothing is meant for you to do all by yourself. So, yes, a support system will be great, whether it's a friend, family, or like any homeschool groups. And living here is not really many homeschool groups in Detroit. All the ones I ran into are like, in the suburbs or like around Detroit. I haven't really actually met no young homeschool parents here in Detroit. So that's one thing that, hopefully will change in the future, because, more people are choosing homeschool over public school, which I think is great. So that answered that question. Yes, it's important to have a support system. Very important. But like I said, you could do it by yourself. It's just going to require a lot of patience and, a lot of work. But I'm going to add on a little bit to homeschooling for everybody. Just because you can homeschool in Michigan freely don't mean, just go pull your child out of school just because you can and then homeschool. Because homeschool is something serious. This is your child education. You don't want to play around with that. So if you don't have time and you don't have the time or you don't have the patience, then please send your child to school. Some education is better than none. Or if you're able to invest in a better school, then please do that. Because, children need it, especially all the young black children, because I feel like a lot of people don't really take education serious when it comes to their child in the black community, from my experience or from, being around a lot of women and their children. People are a little careless in that area. They just send their child to school and leave it up to the teacher. Like, it's not the teacher job to teach your child everything. I feel like the teacher is more of like a introduction to stuff for your child. Like, they get your child to understand the basic concepts, and when they come home, you're supposed to complete that. Like, a lot of times kids go to school, come home, and they don't do anything. You know what I'm saying? That's why they don't learn, or that's why they kind of get slowed down just a little bit. So just be mindful of that before you try to do it. Or even if you want to just try it out, if it don't work, then just let it be. It's okay. It's not meant for everybody to do it, and don't feel bad about it. It is what it is. Just make sure you got them in the proper environment so your child is getting a proper education that they need. Another thing I want to leave off with is also another good thing about homeschooling is you get to really bond with your child, and you really get to know your child and learn your child. So if you're able to, yes, homeschool. If you're not, it's okay. You're not a bad mom. You're not a bad dad.